slide nag-share?
Yes, sir, teacher.
Yes,
Sir.
sir.
Okay, I'm sorry I was not able to meet you within this week. Ano, last few meetings, but nako gina-post for your activities. So nako gibuhat, no? I was tasked to meet all the parents sa tanang TS grantees sa Misamis University pertaining to their application sa Landbank Mastercard. So that is why karon ako makabalik inyong meet. So last Monday, I think I posted something, nag-record ko in the in the morning. Then ako na mong gipa lantaw sa recordings, no? So I hope you were able to check that one, and I hope you were able to comply the activities nga akong gi-post for that particular module. Do you have any problem encountered? Is there any difficulties that you have encountered with that module 1.1.1? Before we will start with module 1.2.1. So if done, we will start with our discussion for this afternoon. So this afternoon we will have the mathematical induction. No, so the learning objective or outcome for this afternoon, you will be able to determine the correctness of mathematical solution by utilizing mathematical induction, direct proof, and indirect proof. Okay, so when we talk about mathematical induction, it is a tool for proving the statement that provides an algorithm correctness. Then the general idea for this is to prove that a statement is true for every natural number. So we will be dealing with proving, no? So later on, part of today's activity is somewhat as it work for you to work with. I think I prepared three activities for you to work this afternoon. Okay? So mathematical induction is a special way of proving things which includes showing if it is true for the first one and to show if anyone is true, then the next one is also true. Okay? So we need to prove, no, if it is true, no, from the first, second, and to the third. Okay? So a mathematical induction also, it is somewhat like saan siya? Domino, no? Not ay ito nga. Domino effect. Meaning, when the first domino matumba, sa may tabo, all of the dominoes will fall also. So, if matumba ang usa ka domino, then the rest of the domino in line, no? Sunod mo na siya. So, the first ma-fall, the second down to the last dominoes will also fall. So, that is how the mathematical induction works. Okay? In the world of numbers, we say that in step number one, show it is true for the first case, and that first case usually starts with number one. Say n is equal to 1. Okay? So show that if n is equal to k is true, then n is equal to k plus 1 is also true. So for example, so we have this first problem. So we need to prove that 3 to the power of n minus 1 is a multiple of 2. For n is equal to 2, ano, it starts with n is equal to 1, 2, 3, and so on. So all we need to do is to prove that the result for 3 to the power of n minus 1 is a multiple of 2 starting with 1. So when we talk about multiple of 2, multi, let me show you, or let me inform you what is that multiple, no, multiple of 2. So these are the list, no? What are the multiples of 2? We have 2, 4, 6, 8, meaning to say they are all even numbers. Muna siya gipasabot og multiple of 2. So we need to prove that the result, if we're going to have 3 to the power of n minus 1, the result will be a multiple of 2. So we will try. Say for example, we will start with n is equal to 1. So if we're going to replace n with 1, that will give us the result of 2. Why? Because 3 to the power of 1, that is 3, then minus 1, the result is 2. Then 2 is a multiple of 2. Okay? So another example, if we will have n is equal to 2, so we will just replace n with 2. So when we talk about 3 to the power of 2 is equal to 1, when we talk about 3 to the power of 2, we need to multiply 3 by itself twice. So it will give us 9 minus 8. And we know that 8 is a multiple of 2. Are we clear? We only prove whatever the result. So the result of 3 to the power of n minus 1, the result is always a multiple of 2. Then it is still true sa the rest of the numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. Are we clear? Questions so far? Questions? Wala pangutana? We will we will try to have this exercise. Okay? We need to prove that 3 to the power of n minus 1 is a multiple of 2, wherein n is equal to 10. So, kindly start answering in your respective areas now. That is to prove 3 to the power of n minus 1 is a multiple of 2. Then we will be using 10 as the value of n. Okay, so I'll give you 2 minutes for that one. Okay, After that one, we will have n is equal to 15, n is equal to 20. Then you need to write your answers in a sheet of paper. Then all you have to do is to take a photo, then reply it in our conversation. So I really need your solution. Okay, you may start now. So I have posted in our chat. No, no. As part of this particular recording, you have there placed all your answers in any sheet of paper, then post it as a reply here. So I
Yes,
hope,
sir.
okay, Lloyd,
Pili yung whiteboard, sir, kay naka-paper
you,
dala manggot.
you can
Opo.
have a whiteboard,
Okay,
then
sir.
just take a picture for me to
Okay.
check. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
So
Thank you,
meaning
sir.
to say, there will be three given values n. So you have n is equal to 10, n is equal to 15, and n is equal to 20. Okay, I'll give you time to work
Excuse
with
me,
that
sir.
one. Yes, Chester Fred.
Kailang, pwede ibalik tong example ganyan, sir. Kadyot lang, sir.
Okay, no problem. So the example, kini, kini na lang akong i-display. Basta the given, there is n is equal to 10, n is equal to 15, and n is equal to 20, I think. Okay? So, kailan na lang akong i-display. Are you done?
Not yet, sir. Number 2 pa
Okay.
po.
Okay. I'll give you mga 5 to 7 minutes para maka-upload or maka-post sa reply. We have Miss Shaina Rose Lotes. Okay. So we have 591143. Okay. We also have Mr. Calago. We have Chester Fred Halalon. Okay. So when your answers are even number, so they are automatically a multiple of 2. They belong to the group of numbers which are multiple of 2. So let us just wait for the others to upload their activity for this afternoon before we will continue with our next mga slides. So we have the reply of Mr. John Litan, we have Makiling, we have Botnande, we have Solde, and we have Palioto Kesime. Okay? So that is how are you going to prove that that particular equation that is 3 to the power of n minus 1, the result is always a multiple of 2. Okay, so to continue, we have here we need to assume that 3 to the power of n minus 1 is true for n is equal to k. That is for step number 2. Therefore, we have here the 3 to the power of k minus 1 is true. We only replace that n is equal to k. So we have to prove that 3 to the power of k plus 1 minus 1 is also a multiple of 2. So let us say for example, so k is equal to 1. We need to prove that k to the power of k plus 1 minus 1. Okay, that is equal to true. So suppose our k is equal to 1, so we need to replace out of the equation sa value ni k. So 3 to the power of 1 plus 1 minus 1. So that is 3 to the power of 2 minus 1, meaning 3 times 3, that is 9 minus 1. Na the result is still 8, meaning 8 is multiple of 2. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have here another exercise for you to work with. Kindly write your answers in a sheet of paper. It only we need to prove that of 3 to the power of k plus 1 minus 1 using these values ni k, 3, 4, and 5. The same procedure kaganina. Okay? Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. And then, pwede ninyo mabutangan og label kini biton sa ikaduhang activity. Butangan ang ninyong label nga activity number 2 sa top of the paper for me to identify nga that particular activity, that particular reply sa inyo ha is for activity number 2. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
We have here an activity for the second activity for Mr. Abby. So we have 3 plus 1, that is the 4. And then 3 times 3, 9 times 3, and 27. 27 times 3. We have 81 minus 1, that is 80. 243, 242, 229. Okay. That's a multiple of 2. Okay. Aside from Abby, we have John, Mikey, Motlande. Then Chester, Fred. We have Shaina Rose, Calotes. We also have from James Lanzaderas. Thank you. Have Kesime Palioto, Lloyd Clarence McWilling. So we will give few minutes for the others to submit before we will continue with a second example. Okay, Mr. Kinsamania. Very good. Mr. Maramara, you have a very detailed answer. Kanang Miss Kining Palioto, Cassie May, are you there? Saan mong gigamit ani Kes?
Sir,
Nagamit ka, pencil mong gamit,
ballpen, sir.
ballpen, okay. Pwede na rin ma-zoom. Hindi mo,
Ay, ano na akong picture, sir.
sakto na, okay naman. Nakuha na nako.
Okay, sir.
Isa pa nakasubmit. Okay, we have Mr. Pasok. Mr. Pasok, no? For activity number 2, very good. For Mr. Miss Bridget Aboyo, naan daw sa ibabaw ang ang second activity. Let me check. Okay, Nara. Thank you. Okay, so that is how are you going to prove that 3 to the power of k plus 1 minus 1, the result is still the same with kaganina, no? The result for that one is a multiple of 2 nga mga numbers. Okay? So we will have another example. So I think this will be our last example for this afternoon. So use mathematical induction to prove that 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on until n is equal to n plus 1 divided by 2. So we have here, let the statement p of n be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until n is equal to n times n plus 1 divided by 2. Meaning, we need to first show that p, so 1 is true for that particular statement. Okay? So, for the left side, when we talk about left side, kining 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So, if we're going to consider 1, then the right side will be 1 times 1 plus 1 divide 2. Anong 1 times 1 plus 1 divide 2 man, sir? We just replace the value of n to 1. So it will give us 2 times 1, that is 2 divide 2, that is equivalent to 1. So both left and right, they are equal. Okay? So another example. Suppose our n is 5. Then, sa atong left side, natay 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Then sa atong right side, we will have, since n is 5, so we have 5 times 5 plus 1 divide 2. So it will give us the result sa left side. If we're going to add the numbers, we have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. It will give us the answer of 15. Now sa right side class, if we're going to substitute the value of n to 5, so the answer will be 5 plus 1, that is 6. So if we're going to multiply 5 times 6, that is 15, it will give us 15. Okay? Ana na siya ang ang pamagi in proving that mathematical equation. So we prove that that 1 plus 2 plus 3 and so on is equal to n plus 2 divided by, no, n plus 1 divided by 2. So let's try to have another example for that one. So we will try to, let me open my whiteboard. Where is my whiteboard? I think it's what in here. So let's try. Suppose our n is, I think n is equal to 7. So using that equation for a while na. Okay. So for n, when we when we have n is equal to 7, then the left side will be until 7. No? So all we have to do is to have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, then plus 7. Since our n is equal to 7. Okay? So another, sa right side, we have here our n is equal to 7 times 7 plus 1 divided by 2. Okay? So, what is the result? Ano niya? We have here 6, 10, 15, 28 ba?
28.
So, we have here 28. Then sa right side, we have 7 times 8 pila man.
56.
56.
6.
6 divide 2 pila.
20.
28.
So, they are equal. 28 is equal to 28. So, that is how we're going to prove nga kana si equations expression sa left and sa right, they are equal using mathematical induction. So, another, say for example, our n is 12. Let's try. So, the next thing that we're going to do is to have 1 plus 2 plus 3. Ngayon, plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 11 plus 12 is equal to 12 times 12 plus 1 divide 2. Okay, what will be the result for this one?
78, sir.
78.
78.
78, are you sure? So the result sa left side is 78 and the result sa right side is 78. So what is 13 times 12? Kila gani?
1.
156, sir.
13 times 12, 156 divide 2, that is 78. So if we're going to add 1 until 12, it gives us the result of 70. Kana na? So nakuha na ninyo how
Yes.
mathematical induction works. Now, let me show you again the presentation. Sa naman to ang presentation karon tara. So suppose we have n is equal to 10, n is equal to 15. The same procedure kaganina. Write your answers in any sheet of paper or in your respective whiteboard. Then upload as a reply having a label nga activity number 3. You can start now.
Excuse me, sir. Pwede mo lantaw sa given, sir.
Okay, the given kininian siya dong. N is equal to 10, n is equal to 15. Kita ra nimo,
Sir,
Chester?
okay, okay na, sir.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Wala naman ni concern no ng is the result of ano na.
Ay, wala na. Diretso na dayon.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Mr. John Mikey, thank you. Sakto na imong answer. We also have Kalago. So at least you know already how what is the process, no? You know the process in proving using mathematical induction. So we will just wait for the others to submit their work before we will end our discussion. Then I will give you an announcement later pertaining to our next topic. Then maybe on Monday, mag-record na po ko daan in the morning para pwede na ninyo ma-check or mapaminaw ang akong recording in the afternoon. Because I still have another batch of parents sa mga TS grantees until Tuesday. But don't worry, nara ko'y i-post for your work, no? Trabaho
Excuse
ninyo,
me, sir,
yes.
kanang na ako'y pangutana, sir ba?
Yes, Chester.
About sa TES, sir, wala pa ka ng official list, sir.
For
Karon
you,
nga batch na mo.
sa mga first year, wala pa tayo lists. Kanang among i-cater karon sa mga second year, muna sila mga continuing grantees. So we will just update you once that Ched Unifast already gave us the result from your batch. Okay?
Okay, sir, thank you.
Are you from Ozami City?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Most likely na ato siya. So don't worry, I'll give you an update for that one.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay. I think everybody nakapost na. So for next meeting, I wanted you to study on set operations because that will be our next module to be discussed next week. So I have in here the set operation that is module 1.3.1. So still we are on course outcome 1, that is to analyze mathematical inductions, mathematical operation situations involving binomial coefficient, proving techniques, and sets. So, naanata sa learning outcome number 3, that is to perform set operations based on the set problems. So, my instructions for you today is to study in advance, kindly research in advance about set operations. That will be our next topic for the discrete structures and discrete mathematics subject. So for IT, muna siya discrete discrete mathematics. For CES, this is discrete structures. You are fused together kay murag tulo ra ka buok computer science. Okay? Do you have any concerns? By the way, for those students nga wala pa na ako natawagan for an final oral defense, pwede you keep on messaging me through our chat para ma-remind ko dayon matawagan tamo for your final defense. Are we clear? I am very sorry for a very long nga delayed sa pagtawag for your oral defense. Sorry for that one. Kaya na ako giatiman pod ginagmay nga work, but I can still cater you. Don't worry with that one. Okay? So katong wala pa naka-defense again and again, just message me. Okay? So if you don't have any more concern, thank you very much for your time and hope to see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.